Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Superstars of Wrestling review series here on the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, comment below if you enjoy this stuff. We're eventually going to have the largest independent audio archive of wrestling reviews on the internet. That's my goal anyway. Bam Bam Bigelow and Owen Hart talk about going heads up with each other. Owen promises to get even with Bam Bam, and he's not intimidated. Bam Bam says it's just another victim in his mind. Then we go to Crush and Glenn Ruth as a bit of a heads up there. Crush still in the midst of his issues with Doink. This match obviously is to be, as expected, relatively a very simple enhancement talent match. Ruth does get a few shots in on Crush, but nothing terribly major. Crush uses his power throughout the match to be dominant. Backbreaker utilized, among other things. Inverted tilt-a-whirl backbreaker as well. Press slam. Doink does the double vision promo, which is kind of ironic and fun. Bear hug by Crush, which kind of is a slower move than you'd imagine in an enhancement match. Small thing on the bear hug, Crush interlocks the hands, which is a big deal, and Crush wins with his Cranium Crush maneuver. Update with Sherry and Luna. Basically, here's the deal. Luna attacks Sherry as part of WrestleMania 9. Luna seconding Shawn Michaels, Sherry with Tatanka. Then they go and have, and I look forward to covering all this on Raw, but they have a brawl basically where they brawl around the ringside area, and there is a striptease basically where Sherry and Luna end up removing parts of each other's clothes on Raw, so Raw at a whole different level. The Head Shrinkers up next against JD Stryker and Ron Preston. One-sided match, as you would imagine. The Head Shrinkers get the advantage here, and they go to town relatively simply and simplistically. Young fans, kids, in fear of the Head Shrinkers at least a little bit. Head Shrinkers, obviously seconded by Afa of the Wild Samoans. Weird to see Afa 25 years later or something like that, as part of the Roman Reigns show here recently. And so 27 years later, he's still around the wrestling business, which is cool. I mean, it's cool when you see guys dedicate their life to the business, and it pays off for them. But anyway, back kick by one of the Head Shrinkers, and they are ready to finish their adversaries, but not before a little bit more punishment, double team, leg drop, and the like. We move into a new tag team here in the next couple of weeks, which is kind of fun. Back leg round kick by one of the Head Shrinkers, and they aren't impressed with their adversaries. Top rope splash, 1, 2, 3, and done. Then we move to the event center, Nasty Boys and Papa Shango. Papa Shango with a rather nondescript promo. Nasty Boys talk about wanting to face whoever the tag team champions are, whether it's Hogan and Beefcake or Money Incorporated. They just want an opportunity to get their belts, what they consider to be their belts, back. Obviously, that particular promo taped before the WrestleMania results are known, and it's always interesting to see when we have promos that are non-sequential. Anyway, Curt Hennig goes to town on Barry Hardy. Neck snap and body slam. Hardy bails to the outside. Hennig brings him in the hard way. Challenges him to Arise. Hennig continues with his run. We have an inset promo from Shawn Michaels, who's saying basically that he does not apologize for attacking Hennig at the WrestleMania event. Their feud, which runs throughout the summer anyway, for 3-4 months, a little disappointing. I mean, they have some angles that are good, but the actual matches I remember seeing, I think 2 live, were disappointing for what both guys could do. They weren't bad, but they weren't the standouts they could have been. Inverted neck snap and a knee lift from Hennig. Hennig is so confident even running his fingers through his hair, after an offensive maneuver. He's confident with everything he does. Perfect plex, 1, 2, 3, gets the victory. Then a feature match of the week. Bam Bam Bigelow and Owen Hart. I do not remember this off the top of my head, so it was kind of cool to watch this again. Owen wanders around a bit lost up until starting the angle with Brett in, I guess you'd say, November 93. They really don't have anything to do with him over the next couple of months. He's just kind of a known enhancement talent, for lack of a better term. Anyway, Enziguri from Bigelow, and Hart does the entire full frontal flip, which is cool. Owen through the legs, lots of speed, lots of quickness, lots of coolness, and hits an Enziguri of his own, taking Bigelow only down to a single knee, though, and a drop kick. Again, taking him down to a knee. They're really protecting Bam Bam Bigelow here, which is good for where they're going with him. Nice missile drop kick and nip up from Owen Hart. Gets a near fall with a sunset flip. Bigelow obviously manages to be in control over the next several minutes. Arm bars by Hart, doesn't exactly get what he wants out of it, but gets enough of an influence. They go to the outside. Owen again over the back when he comes back in the ring. Crucifix attempted, and Bigelow just kind of drops down on him, and again, the size differential being too much for Owen Hart. Guts him on the top turnbuckle, does Bigelow with some power moves and the Irish whip. Eventually, Bigelow, who looks a little winded at a midpoint in the match, does manage to gain a victory, but not before, kind of having to slow the match down. Bear hug. The bear hug in the middle of a match has never made sense to me, but big splash attempt by Bigelow, and actually Owen looks incredibly good here now that I think of it. Does the tremendous Hart Brothers front buckle bump, and Bigelow with some headbutts, actually quite a few of them, gaining an advantage, and Owen moves out of the way in an attempted corner splash. Bigelow to the top rope, hits the top rope headbutt and gets the victory. Yokozuna against Chris Katowski, obviously, for the former world champion. This is just a tune-up match. Gives them reason to talk about Yoko, gives them reason to talk about him getting the belt back. Duggan promises to get even with Yoko for the injuries of before in an inset promo. And, this is a typical squash match for Yoko. Punches, kick, nerve holds, and the like. Big splash or bonsai drop in the corner. Then we move to Razor Ramon in the event center to close the program. And, Razor talks about wanting a real challenge. Razor talks about still being one of the best. Undertaker talks about wanting to get even with Giant Gonzalez. As we close for this week, we'll be back with more right after this.